What is going on YouTube? It is your boy Trev. All right, so I started up my OBS. That's the program that I make these videos with, and it told me that there was an update. I'm hoping that this update fixed my camera problem because I haven't been able to figure out what the hell the problem was. Camera just randomly shuts off, so we'll see if we actually get through this video without my camera shutting off. Okay, this morning, a little while ago, I put out a tweet. So I had bought on Kraken a couple $100 worth of Lunk. And I then found, I wanted to move it to my wallet, use it to buy some Rakoff, whatever. But then I found out that I have to wait 72 hours to transfer that Lunk, which, whatever, it is what it is. Anyway, the 72 hours was up last night. This morning I transferred the Lunk, and I put out a tweet, and I said, okay, so I just sent 2.5 million Lunk to my wallet. Should I stake with the Rakoff validator? Because I don't have any Lunk staked right now. I just buy Lunk as I need it to buy Rakoff, to be honest with you. At some point, I do want to have a stockpile of Lunk and actually start buying Lunk. I think things are finally starting to maybe look a little promising for Lunk. And, once I get back to working full time, if that ever happens, maybe I'll do that. But in the meantime, I said, should I stake with the Rakoff validator, or should I buy the next Rakoff dip? And Lunatic Luna Lover said that I should buy the current Rakoff dip. Well, when I looked at it, I didn't really see that there was a current Rakoff dip. Not what I would call a dip. It really looked like just kind of the normal movement that we've been seeing, and we're going to look at it in a minute. For me, a dip was, nice big red candle, and I said, I think it's going to dip more than what it is right now. I'm looking at the 5038 range. When it gets down to like there, I think that's where I want to maybe try and pick up a little more. And I can't say that I don't think it's might even go lower than that, right? But when I made that tweet, I got some people commented on here, but I got a bunch of DMs. You people went crazy. We say in broken Portuguese, "Epa, faz relax," right? Do you know something, Trev? What's going on? What's happening? Listen, I don't know anything. I don't know anything that you guys don't know. All the information is out there because, yeah, I might get it first, or at least be one of the first to hear kind of what's happening as LL is developing or developing this company and working out all the intricacies of the legal aspect and the taxes and all these things. It's proven to be a pain in the ass, right? It's just not easy, but nothing is easy that's good, I guess, right? So because, again, we've talked about it before, because we want to make sure that everything is done absolutely on the up and up, absolutely legally, so that everyone, from the team to the investors, everyone is protected. There is a process to go through, and this process is honestly, quite frankly, it's really a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I really thought, and you can tell from some of my previous videos, I really thought that the developers would be, they'd have their fingers on the keyboards and be developing by now. But there have been some, I don't know if I want to call them setbacks, but there have been some, as we get into it, we realize, okay, this has to happen and that has to happen. And so, yeah, I guess I'm going to call them setbacks. It's going to get done, right? Come hell or high water, it's going to get done. It's just taking a little longer than it's taking. And so that's all. But you already have that information because LL is very, very good at getting that information out to everybody. He's very transparent. Nobody can say this guy has not been crazy transparent, even with some things that maybe I thought maybe he shouldn't have put out there, like wallets and all that kind of stuff. He really wants everyone to know how legit this is. And I keep using that word because I really can't think of another word for this project. But everybody, like I said, sent me some DMs, right? What's going on? There's nothing going on, okay? This is why I think that. And let me take you over here and show you. Now, this is Rakoff. This is the daily chart because it's just the easiest one to get my point across with, right? So, we've all seen the chart and we know that where we are right now. Let me update and just make sure that this is actually accurate. Okay, and we are. We're at 5043339, okay? And here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the amount of traders at 1,190 some odd traders, right? Took us a while to get to 1,000, but once we got there, that was great. We picked up a few more, but we're not adding on traders like crazy, okay? That's one factor. Another factor to me is what I kind of just talked about, the length of time it's actually taking to get this to go down. And it's not just about Juris Protocol. We've also got Redline Drifter's, the bots that he's working on, the arbitrage bot and the market maker bot, okay? Those aren't online yet. And there are, things that are being looked into and figured out or whatever to get that going. So there are a lot of things coming for Rakoff, but they're not here yet, okay? We also have just the general market. And the fact that, we had these Ethereum ETFs that, people thought were going to be... There's always these things that happen that people think, oh, that's going to launch. No. Everybody hypes it up, but it never really launches everything. I haven't seen it launch everything the way everybody hypes it up like it's going to. And so we had that happen, and it's been kind of a dud. Yes, and people are going to tell me, listen, the bull market still hasn't really started yet. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. When all these things come to fruition, this is when things are going to take off, and that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you on that, but it's not happening right now. And so all these little things that people are looking for to happen, people are starting to get a little jaded. That's a factor, okay? Also, I mean, listen, let's be honest. We're going to look at the chart, right? And we had this crazy run up, but since then we had this high, right? Let me make these yellow so they're easier to see. We had that high, then we had a lower high, then we had a lower high, right? And we had this low, and then we had a slightly lower low, and then we had a lower low, and now we have a slightly lower low. So we're making lower highs and lower lows. That's not making people rush in to buy either. Now, do I agree with that? I understand it. I understand the psychology of it. I wonder if we, as a team, are really pushing and getting out the word about Rakoff and about Juris Protocol and about all the things that are coming as we could. I know that we're doing a lot of things on Twitter, but very often we're preaching to the choir. We're talking to the 1,000 people who have bought this, who have heard the message, and they set it and forget it, right? They know that the team is what the team is. They know the team is trustworthy. They know the project is trustworthy. They know it's not going anywhere, and they know that once all these other catalysts click in, that this thing is going to go up in price. But for now, it's not doing anything. So they bought it, they're holding it, and that's why we don't see any humongous dips, right? When it goes down, it is going down slowly, but it's going down a little bit in value. We don't have any huge skyrocketing moves upward either. I don't think we're going to see that until some of these other catalysts take place. So taking all this into account, I don't see a reason right now why Rakoff is going to skyrocket until these other things happen. I think that our core 1,000 traders, right, are going to hold on to it, and they're going to hold kind of the floor and keep it from really dipping and going really bad downward. But until we figure out a way to bring in new traders and get the word out, really kind of make it broader, we're not going to see that happen either. Now, there is, marketing is being thought about, but LL is so busy setting all this other stuff up. It needs to be done, and he's the only one that can do it. So to think that he would have time or the brain power to launch a marketing campaign at the same time doesn't really make any sense. And it makes more sense for him to actually get this stuff in place, get Juris Protocol being built, and now we've really got something big to actually market. So it's a timing thing, right? Everything's going to happen. It's going to happen when the right time is for it to happen, but it is taking a little longer, and as that happens, we're slowly seeing things dip. This is why I think that it will continue to do that. Possibly the next lower low that we see, I think, is going to be in that 503839 range. It's going to be below 4. This is what I think. I don't have a crystal ball. There's no news that I'm holding on to that I'm not telling you guys about or whatever, right? It's nothing like that. I'm reading the tea leaves, okay? And this is what I'm coming up with. Now, someone else might come up with something totally different, and that's okay, okay? But none of us have a crystal ball, and this is what I think. That's all, right? I'm not super trader. I'm not the greatest with TA. I don't even necessarily believe real strongly in a lot of chart analysis, because I've said it a million times. A chart can only show you what's already happened. You can use that information to try and figure out what's going to happen next, but there are so many variables that you can never ever figure that out with any kind of real accuracy. If you could, then you'd have a lot of really rich people out there. You have some people that are better at it than others, but a lot of it is luck. Okay? So this is what I think. This is what I think is going on. This is what I think is going to happen. I think that even though some people are looking at this and saying, well, it's not a great time to get in, not a great time to get in, I want confirmation. If you're doing TA, right? I want confirmation that we are in an upward trend, and that if I put money in, that, you know, it's going to actually make money. And you're definitely not seeing any confirmation of that right now, so people might not get in. And I understand that the right way, I guess, to trade, the dogma of trading or whatever, would tell you that that's what to do. But if you understand what this is, the potential of it, what's going on, then you know that this is, looking at it from another perspective, also an opportunity to get in on something as it's being built, when it's as low as it's probably ever going to get, right? Maybe a little lower or whatever, right? But now's the time to get in, because when these things happen, off we go, right? I don't know. Do what you're going to do. Not financial advice, just my observances, just my opinions. Do your own research, do your own TA, whatever it is you want to do. And that's it. So hopefully that answers that question for everyone who's blowing up my DMs, panicking, losing their freaking minds. All right. Leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Ask questions, whatever. But do that for me. That would be great. Hit the like button on the way out, and I will talk to y'all later. All right. Ciao. Oh, by the way, my camera worked.